Now, the National Freedom Party is in discussion to collaborate with the ANC and the EFF in hung KwaZulu-Natal councils. The NFP says if parties do agree to the terms, this could see 8 councils under the multi-party coalition governance. This comes after the Red Berets withdrew from a coalition deal with the Inkatha Freedom Party in KwaZulu-Natal. For more on that, we are now joined by the National Freedom Party Secretary General, Canaan Mdletshe. Ngomane, Asbonge, thank you very much for coming on.
No, and good evening to the viewers at home.
Now, as of now, I see in one of the publications this afternoon, Tami Ntuli of the IFP saying, well, we are not surprised by this announcement by the NFP. In fact, they are saying the NFP has again shown its true colors and where its loyalties lie by picking the ANC as its partner in the province. Is that what you're doing?
I think Tamintuli is being hypocritical. He's being a hypocrite because you will remember, Tabo, that between 1994 and 1999, IFP leader Inkosi Mangosuthu Buthelezi, the Minister of Home Affairs under the administration of the ANC. I think the then Secretary General of the IFP, Mr. Musa Zondo, was the Deputy Minister, and Mr. Ben Skosan was the Minister of Correctional Services. Therefore, for him to come out and say that the NFP is showing its true colors by voting with the ANC, it's well, I don't know, for a lack of a better word than the respect that one has for the IFP leader in particular. We are saying that the IFP must really get its facts before they can come out to the public and make such a huge contradicting statement. Because the reality of the matter is the IFP has been working with the ANC from 1994. When we are doing it now today, it becomes an issue simply because Ntuli and others are realizing that they are going to lose almost half of the municipalities that are controlling as we speak.
Is the NFP itself united in this decision? Because some are raising the fact that some NFP councillors have actually defied their party and are voting with the IFP.
Well, we do have one instance where our councillor decided to vote for the IFP despite us giving instructions that we must not vote with the IFP. But we must understand, Tabo, that the situation as we speak right now in certain municipalities is so tense, it's very emotional. Therefore, we can understand that there are some councillors who will be misled into believing that by voting for the IFP, they will be doing themselves a favor. And in this particular instance, you can tell that the people who are behind the actions of our councillor are the same IFP. In fact, it was the Zululand district mayor who, despite us being there in the council, kept on telling our councillor that he must not vote in favor of the motion that had been put by the IFP and by the IFP. Therefore, we are saying that as the organization, we have decided that we are going to work with the ANC and the EFF, and our councillors who are defying the organization, we are going to deal with them, because we cannot have people who are going to gang up against the organization simply because they've been promised money. We are not going to have individuals who are going to be hyenas. We are not going to have a Judas Iscariot within the organization. The organization has taken a stand, and we're expecting our councillors to follow suit. And if any of our councillors from now on decides otherwise, we are definitely going to take action, because we cannot have a situation where councillors are behaving like they own the organization, they are behaving like independents. Because if you are a member of the organization, you must always abide by the resolutions of the organization. If our councillor was an independent person, you would understand, but he's not an independent councillor, he's the member of the NFP, therefore expecting him to respect the organization, to respect the decision of the organization, and all other councillors who are going to, for whatever reason, going to defy, they are going to face the music. We are going to deal decisively with them, because we cannot have individuals acting like Michael Jackson. Whenever they get a stage to a stage, they want to be pop stars, and they want us to clap hands whenever they take such decisions. If a councillor does not respect the party, we are going to deal with that councillor.
Yeah. IFP President Bob Hlabisa, in an address earlier on in the week on the ANC EFF alliance, he called it an unholy alliance. In fact, he calls it a coalition of convenience based on you scratch my back, I scratch your back arrangement. Is that the arrangement that you are currently having with the ANC and the EFF on this particular agreement that you guys are discussing?
Ubaba Hlabisa, as an elder, should not speaking like that, because he knows deep down that the reason why we've decided as the National Freedom Party to work with these two parties is simply because the NFP has dismally failed to deliver service to the people of KwaZulu-Natal, in particular the people of Zululand. We've got instances and situations where people go for weeks, even months, without water under the municipalities controlled by the IFP. Therefore, we are saying our decision is merely based on our assessment we've conducted on municipalities that are led by the IFP. And the results are there. You can see, even if you go around and speak to the people, they will tell you that they are fed up because the municipalities are crumbling and they are failing to deliver. In fact, what is happening in many municipalities in KwaZulu-Natal is that they have become a cash cow, and we've got proof of what we are saying. We've got evidence where monies, huge sums of monies are taken away, and some are used to pay for artists. And I can tell you, we've got artists in this province who are paid by the IFP municipalities in cash. Where on earth have you seen an artist being paid 80,000 in cash? This is what is happening as we speak in KwaZulu-Natal, in those municipalities. And we are saying these monies should be used to deliver service to the people instead of hiring these artists and giving them 80,000 rand when we are giving people a juice and an apple. It's unfair. We are not going to tolerate that. We are going to go all out and make sure that we reclaim all these municipalities. In fact, we've got 8 municipalities that are guaranteed that IFP is going to lose.
They believe that they actually might just lose Mdletshe, and they're saying it's quite ridiculous, the assumption that they'll be losing 13 or even 8 or even more than that. As far as their calculation is concerned, it's only Mdletshe that they will be losing as a municipality.
Well, I think the IFP is in a honeymoon somewhere. They are not in touch with the reality. If you go around, even you can check all the stats. And if you look at the majority of the municipalities where ANC, EFF and the NFP have got councillors, you must do your own calculations. You don't really need to be a scientist or a mathematician to see that out of all these municipalities, at least 8 are gone from the IFP. It's a fact. And if the IFP decides to perhaps decide to go out and convince themselves that they are still going to lead in those municipalities, I don't know, they're a joke. Because I'm telling you, Thabo, even if you sit down yourself and you count, you don't need a calculator. You don't need someone who has got a degree in science to tell you that these municipalities will not be controlled by the IFP come the time to convene the councils. And I can tell you now, as from this Friday, there is a motion to remove an IFP speaker in KwaNongoma, and I can tell you now, the speaker is gone already.
Where is service delivery in all this? It seems it's a toss and a turn and a tussle for positions more than it is about service delivery.
I think I indicated earlier, Thabo, that as the NFP, we conducted our own assessment. We engaged the people on the ground. We asked them, are they happy? Are they satisfied with a leak that they are getting from the municipality? They told us they are getting absolutely nothing. I indicated earlier that people in Zululand will go for weeks and months without water. We've got the majority of young people who are unemployed. Even for EPW work, they are not employed simply because the IFP does not care. That's why we are saying for us, what is important, Thabo, is to mention that if you go around KwaZulu-Natal, you will find potholes in every municipality. You will find even access roads and gravel. Nothing is happening in this province, in particular in those municipalities that are under the control of the IFP. That is why we are saying the time for the IFP to control these municipalities is over, because they are not delivering services. Instead, they are using the public's money to do something contrary to what they are supposed to be doing. On Tuesday, during the sitting of the Zululand Municipality Council, a representative from the AG's office told us that there is about 16 million that is unaccounted for in that municipality. And simply because the money is not used properly by the IFP-controlled mayors. They are using the money for something else other than delivering service to the people. Ours is simple, and I said it earlier that people have been complaining about lack of service delivery in many parts of KwaZulu-Natal, in particular in municipalities under the control of the IFP. Yeah. That is why we are saying we are coming to the rescue of the residents of KwaZulu-Natal. Yeah. We want to take over, not simply because we want to be called mayors, we want to be respected and want people to clap hands when we come up. No, simply we just want to deliver service, because that has not been happening over the past 12 months since the IFP took over.
So this change of power, you're saying, is something that will be broadly and widely welcomed by the people of KwaZulu-Natal, especially in those municipalities governed by the IFP?
Already people are calling us saying, please do rescue us. Please do. We are in hell here because there is nothing that is happening in our areas. Even there are some people, I can tell you that there are some people who were employed by, in particular in some areas, by the NFP, and when the IFP took over, they didn't remove or fire those people, but instead those people are working under extreme conditions because they are treated badly. Some of them, I can tell you, there's one who called us and said, I'm in the clinic right now because I can no longer go to work. I'm stressed, and it's so painful to what is happening in those areas. And we are saying the time for the IFP to put our people under the stress is gone. The time for the IFP to think that by being mayors, speakers, and whatever positions, they must control the lives of the people is over, because we want to see the people of KwaZulu-Natal getting services more than anything else. We want to see people getting respected by the mayors and councillors, because what is happening right now is so embarrassing. As I've indicated, we've got municipalities that are collapsing, not because there's no money, but because the money was used for something else. We've got municipalities that are going around asking for money. Some of them have been written to the treasurer asking for a loan. And I can tell you it's simply because the money has been misused by the IFP-led officials. And there were some reports that in Mdletshe, they went around asking for a loan because they can no longer pay staff, because the money is no longer there, and it's so early in the year that some municipalities can say we don't have any resources anymore. But just because the money has been used for something else other than delivering services, there's nothing else left in the coffers of municipalities.
Given the track record of the ANC in a majority of municipalities in South Africa, adverse findings by the Auditor General and so on and so forth, what makes you believe that this coalition will be different?
Ours is there to hold each and every partner accountable. We are not going to be silent. We are not going to say because we are working together now, if we see something wrong, we'll keep quiet. No, we are not going to do that. We are going to make sure that each and every official, each and every political leader that is deployed in whatever municipality are accountable to the people. And I can tell you now, Thabo, if you look at the NFP's track record in municipalities that we controlled before, we always received clean audits. And I remember at some stage, our late president even received an award for delivering service, in particular houses in the Zululand, despite that not being her work. And we are saying we are going to hold each of the parties accountable, because we are accountable to the people of this country. By working with the ANC and the EFF, we are not saying we are going to be a yes bus there. We are going to be part of a team that is going to make sure that we deliver services. We are going to be part of a team that is going to make sure that the public purse is not misused. And we are going to, as I've indicated, we are going to hold each and everyone accountable, whether the ANC or the EFF, we are going to hold them accountable, because we want to see each and every cent that is allocated for service deliveries to do exactly that.
Ngoman, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for coming on. That's Canaan Mdletshe from the National Freedom Party. He's the Secretary General there. Let's turn to the